Register today for the Be the Light Virtual Retreat, February 19th through 21st, 2021. This is a powerful spiritual activation weekend, complete with Reiki attunement, spiritual warfare training, how to access more of your gifts and abilities, and much, much more. Go to www.heartofinspiration.net today to register. That's www.heartofinspiration.net. See you there.
Hello, Pisces. This is Lisa with Heart of Inspiration. And here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life. And through Lightworker Academy, we help you identify, clarify, and prosper in your purpose. Well, today, I'm here for your Mercury Retrograde reading. Now, this is for Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising. Primarily Pisces Sun and Moon, because of these just general energies that are here and are coming in and are going to be with us now for the remainder, definitely, of 2021. And I really feel like this is really starting a rather generational situation going on here. This is for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Somewhat rising, and the reason why I say somewhat is because rising is really, your rising sign is really your personality, how you show up in the world, how you interact with the world is your rising sign. And that can fluctuate, not necessarily your personality can change a little bit, I guess, but I really feel very intuitively that this is really going to affect more so suns and moons. Now, during this Mercury retrograde and coming up to the new moon in Aquarius, we've got this crazy superstellium that's already going on, and it will continue definitely as the moon comes into Aquarius and we enter into the Aquarius new moon energy. That energy, we're going to have the sun. Right, we have the sun now. We've got Mercury that's going to go backwards and become conjunct with the sun, and then as it's continuing on, it's already has, and then it's continuing on its retrograde conjunct with Jupiter, and then continue on conjunct with Saturn, and then in between that time, it's going to come conjunct Venus, which is now into Aquarius, and later on the 12th of February, we're looking at the moon coming in. But just with the planets that are there right now, all of them squaring Taurus, which so Uranus in Taurus, which is sextiling your sun and your moon. Right? So there's a lot going on. So let me take the Uranus in Taurus sextiling your sun or your moon or your rising, but squaring that. So we've got Uranus and Taurus. So upheaval of daily activity, upheaval of a re-examination, a revolutionizing, if you will, of what you're coming to this understanding of what you really love and what you really love to do and who you really want to show up in this world as, and what's really yours as opposed to what's been put upon you. The two very different concepts, what's really yours as opposed to what's been put upon you. And there's this like, oh my gosh, I never realized that this was the case, right? Before now, never realized it. But now here we are. And that's changing and that's evolving, and it is revolutionary in its very essence. So you've got all of these changes that are happening, and you've got Neptune still in there in your sign. So that in and of itself, that very dreamy, that very illusionary, but coming to a realization of what's illusion and what's disillusion, what's dream and what is what you thought was your dream, but you didn't really own it. Our parents, society, co-workers, friends, lovers, spouses, all these different entities come into play, right? The educational system, all these different entities come into play. And what happens is that they all come in and they're all kind of like, hey, this is how you should be. And hey, this is what your dream should be. And hey, this is right how you should operate. And then a lot of times people will take that very deep spiritual intuitiveness that you have, and this very mature intuition. Those of you that have you're on your awakened journey, and you are remembering who you are and putting all those pieces back together, and you're on the ascension process. Sometimes it can feel like people, they're trying to like hold you down or bring you down, or they take a little bit advantage of it, because you're really easygoing in a lot of ways, and you just kind of like, you're very go with the flow, and a lot doesn't necessarily get under your skin. But that can also kind of result in people kind of maybe taking a little bit advantage of you. So I want you to watch out for that, just in general, Pisces. But really, this is, if we're going to talk about you as the light worker, you're really coming into this understanding and understanding of who you are and who you were always meant to be. And all this going on in Aquarius for the collective is showing us as individuals, as we come into our true knowledge and true understanding of our mission, our purpose, how we are our piece in the puzzle, our piece in the plan for the collective consciousness raising of the earth. Mercury is going, as it's going in retrograde, and it's allowing us to not only just review or think or, kind of this short-term travel kind of thing. It's not only just that, or technology. It's not just that. This is really you having the opportunity to double check and triple check what it is that you are, the plans, the ideas, the motivations, the passions, the purpose, all those dreams that have been awakened within you. And as you've been starting to put together the pieces of that, you are now kind of going back over on that checklist and saying, okay, wait, I have this, but I might need this. I'm showing up in the world in this way, but really, like, I need to amp that up. It's kind of a call to action because it's squaring, right? That square is like, hey, we got to get going, right? On a day-to-day basis, we're going to revolutionize where we're at on a day-to-day basis and how we show up. So we're revolutionizing that, and then it's going to go back, and then it's gone back a little bit, and so it's coming conjunct to Jupiter, and it's like those great big plans and those gifts and those abilities that have been awakened within us, and this like ability to see the world and see the universe for what it really is from an energetic point of view. It's like, woohoo, that's awesome. And then it's going to go back a little further, and it's going to take Saturn in Aquarius and say, all right, this is how life has been up till now. And these are the standards, right, that have been applied. We reviewed all of that and shook all that up while Saturn and Jupiter were in Capricorn with Pluto. But now we're saying, let's flip it on its head. Let's flip it on its side and add this energy technology to it. This is a new foundation you're creating that's going to carry you through the rest of this fifth dimensional ascent as we ascend to the 5D. And then it comes conjunct with Venus in Aquarius, which is very Lemurian, very kind of like, again, evolutionary, right? The Lemurian starseed was a very evolutionary, it was a big evolutionary jump, right? In humanity. Or in the humanity, the evolutionary process of humanity. So this is being in concert, in connection to, tied into, attuned to this earth, Gaia, water, right? This kind of movement of the spirit, and really illuminating what you really, really love on a deep level. What really makes your heart sing. And what really motivates you and is going to motivate you and propel you in love, this true love, this love of self in conjunction with love of the collective. And what that love energy really means in a very pure fashion. It's going to begin to help you recognize that. And then as Mercury comes direct here, I believe on the 20th, it's going to go further into that. So let me get to the Oracle cards now. All right, we're going to move that out of the way. All right, so what we're using, speaking of Lemuria, we're using the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. These beautiful cards here on this side. And then we're also going to pull two of the Keepers of the Light Oracle on this side. So let's see what Spirit has for us. So can I get 2 cards, please, for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising? 2 cards, please, for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. 2 cards for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Infinite. Oh, God. You love that? Look at that card. Isn't that beautiful? The Infinite. Wow. Wow, Pisces. That's a powerful card to get. Let me pull this in a little closer. One more card, please. New blueprints. Oh, I think I see where this is going. Pisces, are you ready to get some really new, innovative, deep, spiritual, energetic blueprints? Like ways we can just utilize energy? Oh my gosh, I feel that so strong. And then we have Gaia. I just talked about that Earth connection. Be mindful of the planet. Come back to Earth. Stay grounded. And one more, please. Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Pisces, this couldn't be a more beautiful set of oracle cards. The infinite new blueprints. As you reconnect with your own divinity, as your divinity connects with supreme divinity of Mother, Father, Spirit, of source energy, of pure love, pure light, and you begin to bring down this new information, right? And it's not actually new. It is from the infinite. It is infinite wisdom that has thus far been hidden from this current iteration of humanity. Infinite wisdom that has been thus far hidden from this current iteration or this current incarnation of humanity. But now it's time for the infinite to meet the finite. Now it's time for the infinite to visit the finite. It is time for the eternal to visit the temporal. And as that happens, you are going to understand, you are going to get the activations, you are going to get the codes, you are going to get the codex, if you will, and this revelation for new blueprints, new ways of doing old things, new ways of bringing in money, new ways of living out your purpose, new businesses, new, oh wow. For a lot of you, you're going to be noticing new gifts or new abilities, as I like to call them, that are being revealed to you throughout this time, through the remainder of this time. I would pay special attention to the new moon. Pay special attention to the new moon on the 12th. And setting those intentions, right? Focused intentions. Don't just set your intention for something, like don't set the bar so low. So for instance, if you're looking for, you're entering into your career or looking for a new career, don't set the bar so low that you're only going to make this amount of money and only have this kind of lifestyle. And you know what I'm saying? Like, don't set it so low because you're doubting your abilities. Because I just hear Spirit say you have so many more abilities than you have any idea. Like, you need to start utilizing your 5th dimensional and higher being in your 3rd dimensional realm and your 3rd dimensional world. There's no reason for everything to be so separate. 5th dimension and higher energy created everything that we see here. Y'all know my favorite, one of my absolute favorites is probably the favorite movie right now, The Matrix, right? And the child and the oracles, in the mystery school of the oracle, right, in the apartment, was bending the spoon, and Neo was just like, what? And how do you do that? And the child was just like, well, first you have to, understand that there is no spoon. Everything energetically unseen has created everything seen. Stop separating the two. And if it gets a little weird, if it gets a little like I'm not really getting it, and then don't get frustrated and then do your deep dive. Stay there for a minute. If you stay at the surface for just a little bit longer before you go diving deep, you're going to be shocked at what kind of information you get, and what kind of knowledge and understanding and revelatory and revolutionary technology, if you will, that you're going to receive as you stay at the surface and then take it down with you. Because when you take it down with you, then after you've received this revelation deep, in a whole different light, when you bring it down from on high and you bring that light with you, everything underneath, you see the code. You're going to be getting new blueprints, new ways of achieving that which you have always wanted to achieve, but you perhaps have been going at it in a little bit different way. For some of you who are wanting to go into, this esoteric metaphysical realm and make this, this is your purpose and this is what you're meant to do, you're going to receive new ways of doing that. It's not the old way. And I can just say, even from like being a Reiki master, right? Master teacher, it's no longer the old way. 99.999999, matter of fact, 100% of my clients right now are digital. They're over the airwaves. It's not so much the laying on of hands. It's not that the process or the concept is no longer valid. It's been elevated and transformed and transmuted and revolutionized for today's world. So new blueprints that are going to fit today's world with this Gaia Earth connection and focused intention. We need to be very focused as to what we're bringing down into the earth. So be mindful of the planet. And I want you to be mindful of the planet as far as the grid that's on Gaia, that Gaia has, right? The grid, and that energetic grid that exists here, and how Gaia herself, her energy is rising, and the crystalline grid that is becoming more and more apparent and more real, if you will, to us every day. And we're able to tap into that and operate in that grid. So it's bringing that vision that you have out of the fifth dimension and down here onto the third dimensional realm. Fifth dimension and higher ideas, methodologies, energetic technologies. And I know this makes sense to the Pisceans, I know it makes sense to you. I'm going to pull a couple of the Syrian Starseed Tarot. Okay. But as you're mindful of that, bring it back to earth. And there is the need to stay grounded. I know you guys don't like to stay grounded. You guys either like to swim or fly. Okay, it's one of the two for y'all. Y'all either like to be up on the moon, or you like to be up on Neptune, or you like to be deep down and we can't see anything, right? I'm out. But I want you to stay as surface dwellers, so that you can manifest and bring it in, so that you can materialize it, so you can be the alchemist, right? And bring it into existence. Here we have the Chariot. This is all going to happen very quickly for you. We have the Three of Chalices, which also tells me it's going to be a time for celebration in your life. Okay. And also the Eight of Crystals. It's time for you to get to your work. Now, this is earth energy. So as you're swiftly moving through the astral, as you're swiftly going up high, as you're doing your meditation, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I got this information. And it feels awesome, because this also to me represents you, spirit, and then your team, right? Your guides, your ancestors, your angels, all in concert in love, bringing this into so you can do the work on earth through this Eight of Crystals energy, bringing it into the third dimension, right? From up here, bringing it in and transforming it and being that wonderful alchemist. So be very focused, right? Especially as we're coming into this new moon, be really clear on what your intentions are. And if you're not sure what your intentions are, I'm going to ask that you work with your, hang on, we're going to move to another scene, the other scene. Thank you. There we go. I'm going to ask that you really listen to what your higher self is saying. And no matter how kind of like woohoo it feels or it seems, it's not. So I need you to go with it. Okay, just go with it because it is what you always intended to do and what you always intended to be. Okay, just put it all back together. It's coming together. But I see some fabulous things coming from you, Pisceans. Please, once you like and subscribe, I want you to leave me some comments. Let me know what you're hearing and what you're seeing and what you get from this Mercury retrograde. Don't let this Mercury retrograde just sit here and not be useful. Let's use it. Hey, that's what I have for you guys. Thanks so much for being here with me. Thanks for being patient and waiting for your reading. And I'm sure all along the way during this video, you've seen in the corner down here, the little blurb talking about 100 lightworkers in 100 days. Lightworker Academy is open right now. And we are offering a certification program in spiritual counseling and energy healing. And so the mandate that I've been given is 100 light workers in 100 days. And we're getting there. Like I'm going to be giving the update on that very quickly. But if you would like to be considered for enrollment, there's a link down below in the description box where you can schedule a 15-minute reading so we can it's not a reading, a 15-minute call so that we can discuss enrollment and start you on that process to see if that makes sense for you and I. Or you can email me at info@lightworkeracademy.net and we can schedule something from there. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you so very much. Namaste. Bye-bye.